If you are a casual podcast listener and you've never even looked at our social medias, go follow them. We watch through them and we make clips and we make TikToks. And if they're funny enough, we'll put a TikTok online.
Basically,
I've got the TikTok audio to play.
let's just play the clip.
This is the clip. The Sunbury line has 3 Footscrays. I would like to say that that's pretty shit.
I feel like anything... Oh, now this is gonna probably piss some people off. I feel like anything that goes to the western suburbs is just shit. Because the western suburbs are just shit.
Well, people didn't like that.
Look, I literally said, as a preface, I said this is probably going to piss a lot of people off. I didn't know you were going to fucking clip it.
Oh, I take everything that you said on the podcast as clippable.
Obviously, if I...
So it's my
No,
fault.
I'm not saying it's your fault, but I am just saying, obviously, if I shit talk like a third of a city where there's like fucking probably like 1 million or 2 people, I'm gonna piss some people off if you post it on a public platform.
Okay, no, but I feel like there were people in the comments that were justifying it, saying they lived in that side of town and they thought it was justified. But what?
So there were people backing me up.
A minimal amount of people. One of them was my brother Max mocking that. However, I would just like to say we weren't explicitly going out of our way as a topic to go, hey guys, by the way, we're boring.
I just want to say, before I read through these comments...
I've got all the comments and I'm going to hand my phone to Rita and Rita's going to go through them all.
Before I read through and respond to these comments, I want to say I wasn't insulting people who live in the western suburbs. I was specifically insulting the western suburbs because I've lived there multiple times, which is why I have the right to say I think it's shit.
But also,
I've shit-talked a lot of places I lived.
And I understand that we didn't put context in that TikTok clip, but if you look at the context, we shit-talked every other part of Melbourne in the podcast. We had to find something bad about them because we were putting them in a list, and we weren't at a stage yet to go, well, they're so good, let's place them 10th.
And look, I've lived in a lot of places. I have a lot of opinions about places that I've lived. Western suburbs, not the only shit place I've lived. It's just pretty up there.
I would like to say, if you look hard enough, there's not a place that has solely good shit about it.
No, but the western suburbs, pretty shit.
Pretty shit. But they're not the only shit place. Okay, anyways.
Look, maybe I should justify it. Maybe I should go over some... Before I read through this, I should just go over some of my reasoning.
Go for it.
I'm pretty much talking about some very specific areas because I've only really lived in like the Werribee or like aircraft area.
And Footscray.
I wouldn't count Footscray as the western suburbs. It's so close to the city.
A lot of people in the TikToks...
the
comments, we're taking your word, because at the start of the clip, I mentioned Footscray Station. People were taking that as, oh, Rita hates the western suburbs. Rita hates Footscray.
See, you fucked me over there, because I literally live in Footscray, and it's my favorite place I've ever lived. So can you clip this? Yep. Oh my God, Footscray, so fucking good. If you consider Footscray the part of the western suburbs, then it is the one part of the western suburbs that's good, but the rest is shit.
At the time of recording, we have just under 15,000 views on the video. I woke up and there were 20 likes on that video. And I was like, why the fuck are there 20 likes on our TikTok? What the fuck have we done? I go in the comments.
Just give it to me.
Okie dokie. You've got to read. Do you want me to read them and you to react?
Yep, sure.
Now, this is my favorite one.
This is going to be so soul-crushing for me. It's just people fucking insulting me pretty much.
Some of them are insulting me. Most of them insulting Rita. We'll start off with, I'm not going to name the user. Just say you went to a private school and have been spoon-fed your whole life.
Okay.
Now let's... we won't go into full depth, but Rita, tell me about your schooling experience.
So I was fucking homeschooled until high school, then went to a very much public school and
Geelong, which is a shithole.
In Geelong, dropped out multiple times, and also, my parents are not rich.
Not only that, but you've practically, and your parents...
I've spent most of my life below...
I was going to say you've spent most of your developed life living independently, which is the
On Centrelink, I am literally like in the same fucking category as probably most of the people who got pissed off by what I said.
I reckon some of them lower. Like, you're in a lower.
Yeah.
Because, anyways, the one reply to this comment, didn't you go to a private school, lol? Seems a bit rich. Someone got owned by a random on TikTok. Yeah. Now, some of them, I think, are taking both of us. I'm not sure comedy podcasting is for you at this point in time. Keep trying. For context, at the bottom of each clip, I put a few hashtags. One of them, hashtag comedy. He's not wrong, but he's also not funny about it either. So, and then someone replied, no babes, he's she wrong and not funny. And then that person replied, you say that, yet Derrimut exists.
It wasn't intended to be funny. Like, in the context of the clip, it was a backup episode. Exactly. I was literally just saying my opinion on Werribee. I wasn't trying to, not where. Okay, now I've sounded like I'm fucking specifically.
No. Guys, if you're wondering what the Western suburbs are, Werribee, apparently, according to Rita, and I did not say this, Werribee is a shithole.
Look, I was literally just insulting the Western suburbs. I wasn't trying to be funny.
Yeah, no. And you can tell because
we were ranking train lines. It was a very serious topic.
And it's still very serious for us. But the clip doesn't have us laughing. No. It's just a comment.
Which means maybe you shouldn't have put the hashtag comedy on it. That is a fair...
We are a comedy podcast. I have to... One of the worst takes I've ever heard. See, that's from Generic Ho, by the way.
Generic Ho. Well, Generic Ho, how about tell us why you think that? Like, look, fair enough, you can say I'm wrong, but if you're not going to give a single fucking reason, then you can't, we're on the same fucking level. To be fair, I didn't give a reason why I thought it was shit, but you're not giving a reason why you think it's not.
Moving on. I think this is our favourite comment so far. You can tell this guy hasn't taken a step out of Brunswick and was raised by his vegan parents. 77 likes.
What's the name of the username for that person?
When did we ask?
When did we ask? I've probably lived in more places than you've lived in your fucking life in the last year.
But none of them have been Brunswick.
None of them have been Brunswick. I've lived in the western suburbs multiple times in the last 2 years, and it's a shithole.
Also, what point does vegan parents have to do with this? If anything, you would imagine a vegan hippie would love the western suburbs.
No, vegan...
Not love, but like wouldn't be rude enough to shit talk it on a comedy podcast.
Yeah, but I guess the Brunswick part is like, yeah.
The Brunswick part, justified. Everything else, not really.
Well, it's not justified because I've never lived in Brunswick.
Your mum's favourite 69420 says, fuck, that's mad bro funny, mad funny bro, tell me more.
Okay. So people are just...
insulting you, and that's what we're going through.
No, well, yeah, but they're also insulting... I think they're mainly insulting the fact that you put the comedy hashtag on, and it's clearly not comedy. Didn't know
smashed crabs could talk. I don't understand that. That's one of the comments. I only got one like, but I thought it was funny.
Okay.
The first part of this person's comment actually is kind of relevant. It's talking about how good Footscray is. But the end of it, these two white men think they're doing something.
Look, fair enough.
We do think we are doing something, but we know we're doing something. We're doing a podcast.
Yes.
We don't think we're being funny in that clip.
But by being two white people with a podcast.
We are, and this comes into the next one, the real pandemic is mediocre men thinking they're interesting enough to make podcasts.
Yeah, no,
you know what?
Absolutely.
I cop that.
I'll take that. I will absolutely take that.
In justification, I don't think we think we're that interesting.
No.
We just wanted something to do.
Yeah.
And we're doing it. Tell me you've never visited the West without telling me you've never visited the West. Rita? Someone tell us.
Look, as I keep going over, been there multiple times, that's why. Look, I don't understand these comments because why do you think I would have any opinion on the place if I hadn't lived there?
That's the thing. I think they're just looking at it and with absolutely no context of who you are as a human being, understandably.
I'm not the kind of person to shit talk somewhere I've never been or something I've never done or anything like that. I was shit talking the western suburbs from a place of love.
Hashtag comedy is doing a lot of heavy lifting for this bloke. And that's my fault for putting hashtag comedy, but I'm sorry. I don't understand this comment, but it is there. This is like a parody of two private school kids having a podcast. Are we pretending to be private kids?
Maybe we are parodying that because we're not private school kids.
Hey. Yeah, except we're not. Yeah, this is an L take, said Kingsley.
I want to know. Hit the podcast up. Do we act like private school kids?
No,
We literally have a segment called Bad Financial Decisions, which is about how I regularly get broke to the point where I can't afford fucking food.
But you are wasting money, and maybe that's what private school kids do. It's very hard because we're not private school kids, and we very much lived a life. No, we haven't lived a shit life, but we've lived a life in Geelong.
I feel like they're calling us private school kids because I think it's a very private school kid thing to have like a bad take that's not backed up by anything because like you've grown up privileged. But that's not us!
Exactly. Then the comments, they turned personal, Rita.
I'm aware.
And you know, this is a bit sensitive, but I am going to go here. About as shit as your haircut and receding hairline. And then people said, not the hairline, violation.
Wait, who said that?
A good 322. But B Fletcher said, about as shit as your haircut and receding hairline. Look at B Fletcher. He doesn't have a photo.
Yeah, B Fletcher, show us your fucking hairline before you fucking talk shit on mine. But also, was the person below that like defending me?
No, they were saying it was a violation of TikTok guidelines because you were so rude. They were so rude.
Funny. Is that actually a violation?
No. That's what people say when they've got nothing to add, but they think it's funny. Like, it's like the equivalent of you texting me something funny and me just replying, haha.
Yeah, right.
But it's TikTok.
No. I'll cop that one. Do have a shit hairline. Why do you think I have this fucking haircut?
But I think it's iconic. I like it. Say you're privileged and inexperienced without saying you're privileged and inexperienced.
These comments are all fucking clones of each other.
Exactly. And that's the thing about people on TikTok. They don't really understand how to socialize, and they're just repeating the same thing but mixing and matching
read
words.
the other fucking comments. If there's a comment that has 70 likes that says the exact same thing you're about to type, how about just don't?
Or just like it. Says the bloke with the shittest hairstyle ever. You'd fit in right in Footscray. Well, maybe they've seen you in Footscray.
Fair. They probably have. I mean, I do live in Footscray, which means the people who got insulted about what you said about Footscray might see me in Footscray. I might get fucking attacked for what you said.
I didn't say anything bad. I said Footscray has 3 train stations. That's fine.
You insulted them. You were like, that's too many stations.
Someone said, well, Sandringham...
Imagine taking that as an insult too.
Someone commented, well, Sandringham has 3 Brightons. I don't think you've got a point here. And I was like... That's not the point. I was just stating it. And that's just for context in the clip. I tried to protect you by putting context at the start, but I didn't know it was going to blow up with hate. I thought it was going to blow up with funny.
I could have told you before you posted that clip exactly how it was going to go.
If you look at all the TikToks that we posted before, I didn't think this one was going to go well.
No, but the reason it went well...
I may have used Western Suburbs Melbourne as a hashtag.
Oh, mate. Don't tell me you didn't know what was going to happen.
I honestly did not know what... and this is a pinky promise, did not think you were going to get hated on.
I don't care about the hate. I find it funny.
Tell me you're a privileged cis white man without telling me you're a privileged cis white man. Can you guys in the audience see a fucking trend? These people do not know how to interact.
So, quite literally... I'm fucking broke as fuck.
That's not privileged.
And I'm not cis. So get fucked.
He's scared of diversity. I don't think podcasting is for this bloke. That's you, mate. I'm cool to podcast, but you're not cool. Tell me you hate immigrants without telling me you hate immigrants. Yay, make fun of the large immigrant areas.
I literally live in Footscray, and one of my favorite things about Footscray is how multicultural it is. The western suburbs, yeah, the multicultural aspect is great. I'm not shit talking the people. It's just a shit place.
These people know. But the location. We shit talked the actual location, and more so that you had to take forever to get there anyway.
Yeah.
And you know what? I experienced it. Where the fuck did I go? I had to go to the end of the Glen Waverley line. I was like, this was so quick.
I mean, I can't really blame people for getting defensive about the place that they live. I guess people just don't like something so close to them getting attacked. I just have lived in so many different places that I'm not personally attached to enough to defend it. I would shit talk basically everywhere I've lived because pretty much everywhere is a shithole in some way.
And because and you didn't even go into details about why it was a shithole. But if you
and that was my mistake, Zach, because people assumed that I was hating on immigrants immediately.
But why do people have to assume? Okay, we probably shouldn't
because we're two white guys with a podcast.
Oh.